Hey guys, and welcome to another video here for our channel, The Guide. I'm Benjamin, also known as Tez, and today I've got another in-depth analysis for you of how to think like an elite player. The last time we talked about defending, this one is about build-up play. And build-up is very crucial because on the one side, you don't want to give away ball possession right after you just got it and concede very easy goals. But on the other side, you can use a good and quick build-up play to score very easy goals. So in this video, we're going to analyze different situations, how I use my build-up play to secure ball possession, but also get in very promising situations for chance creation. So let's get right into the action. So let's start with analysis, and first of all, in the top right corner here you can see my controller input. So this tells you what I was pressing on my controller in this moment, and this is very helpful to analyze what I was doing. And then there's this white circle here, and this shows you where I'm looking at. I was using an eye tracking device while I was playing and recording this, so in case you're wondering where I'm focused at in these different kind of situations, this white circle does give it away. So now we want to talk about build up, and for this we need the ball. So in this case the opponent is still in attack, and with this through pass here which I intercept, I know that I'm about to gain ball possession. And the first step of building up your play is securing ball possession. You don't want to get in a position at which you lose the ball right away. There will be situations at which this is easy, but there are also situations like this one where you have immediate pressure from the opponent. And in this case, the opponent's attacker, which would try to get to the ball, is now in a position to threaten me to put pressure on me from the side. So he's very close by, and this means he can get to the ball right away. So this is my first reaction. I realize that I'm about to get ball possession, that I intercepted that pass, and I do the input for a ball roll. It's a very good skill move to get away from the opponent, just turning downwards like that with a ball roll. And because he's applying pressure to me from the side, I can get away very easily. So this is the first step and priority number one. When you get control over the ball, you want to secure ball possession by getting away from the opponent. And in the same moment, you have to ask yourself how you can distribute the ball to make it even more sure that you maintain ball possession, because as I said, this is always a very dangerous moment to lose the ball right away. In this case, the opponent was quite committed to the attack. You have a lot of different players from him in this picture here, which are part of the attack very high up on the pitch, and this means that they can put also pressure on my surrounding teammates. So I think also because he was playing somewhat of a pressing tactic in defense, a lot of his players right away start to mark my players very tightly, and this means that I don't have a lot of options to play the ball to. So as you can see, a lot of players are very tight around my players, and this means when I turn and try to find an open man, it's not as easy in this moment. There will be always a very safe option in the back with a goalkeeper, but to be honest, I'm not a big fan of this. This is always a liability because the goalkeeper is not as good in dribbling and passing, and therefore in this situation, for example, there wouldn't be quite an open man right in front of him, so the situation wouldn't be actually changed, but it would be the same, and I would have to go for a very long ball, just clearance more or less out of the box. So I'm not a big fan of this, but when you look at the whole pitch, and this is what I ask you to do in these kind of situations, when you get control of the ball, try to get away from the opponent, from the immediate pressure, and try to identify an open and very secure man in your team that you can play a ball to. And this is quite obvious in this situation. I have this central midfielder here. He will be a vital and crucial player in my attempt to build up my play, but also maybe initiating my counter-attack. He's unmarked, he's open, and this is what I realize in this moment. I get away from the opponent, so this is step one, and then I try to look for someone where there is no resistance and from an opponent's defender, for example, who can maybe intercept or maybe put pressure on me. So in this case, I do the ball roll not only to get away from the opponent, but then to initiate a very sharp turn right afterwards, because when I do the ball roll, I can do a sharp turn right after, and then play a pass to this player here to then initiate my attack, to initiate my build-up and maybe counter-attack. So this is what I'm doing here. And so the first step is to secure ball possession, and then the second one is go in that direction that you don't face any resistance. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm going to slow down it a little bit. So you see I do the ball roll, and then even with a sluggish or not as good dribbler as Skriniar, for example, I'm able to go for a very nice dribbling. And then when you will see this situation here on the pitch, you see there's no danger to play this pass because he was open. I identified the open man, I play this pass, and from here I build up my attack. And I already mentioned resistance as a concept, and this is what I want you to understand. This is more or less the step 2. You try to go forward as long as you don't face any resistance. When you can gain ground and speed and pace in your attack, you should try to get it, because then you still have the chance to go for a counterattack and to go for an easy goal, because this is very strong in FIFA 21. And when you look at the situation on the pitch, you have a lot of players from the opponent which are still or very high up on the pitch, and if I continue very fast with my build up here with a pass like this, for example, then I get rid of those players and they won't be a factor in his defense, and this makes it much easier for me to attack. So in this case, I don't see any opponent right in front of me. I can play this very easy pass, and by this pass I make sure that I keep my attack keep going forward, and this makes it easy for me to initiate my attack basically. So in this case I have a very easy pass right up front. I play this pass, and as you can see now, I'm in a very good position to go for a counterattack. There's a lot of space behind the defensive line. You have this winger here who might go for a run like this, for example. You can play a through pass if you want to do. In this case, I feel like there's a huge chance that this player is going to intercept it. So I will opt to go for another opportunity or option. But this shows you how promising or how easy it can be to build up if you just find the right and open man to initiate your counterattack. And as I said, as long as you don't face any resistance, you keep going forward. This is my basic approach. If there's no one who's going to stop me, I keep going forward. So in this case, I lay off the ball, go for some quick passes, and then I dissect the defensive line from the opponent very easily and score a very easy goal. And this was all possible because after I got ball possession, step 1 was securing ball possession, then finding the open man, playing forward as long as there's no resistance, and then it was very easy to dissect the opponent's defensive line. And as I said, a very easy goal for me. I play the through pass and then a very easy finish. So now we come to another situation, and here it wasn't as easy to keep going forward. But first of all, we have to get the ball, and in this case I was a little bit lucky to not concede from this. But anyways, this is going to happen sometimes, and now I'm about to get control over the ball, and step number 1 is to secure ball possession. And I don't want to get stuck in a weird dribbling situation here with my sluggish center back Campbell in a duel against Cristiano Ronaldo. And in order to secure ball possession, I want to distribute the ball. I want to get it away to a more favorable player for a more favorable situation. And I have an open man right in front of me. So to get it away from this very uncomfortable situation, I play just an easy pass right up front. So if you have a solution, very open man right in front of you, play those easy passes. You don't want to get in those tight situations, especially not with your defenders. So I play this pass to my winger here to get the ball away, to get control over the ball. Once again, he's in a situation to put immediate pressure on me. I lay off the ball here. And now you could argue or could say there's a lot of space on the wing, and in order to initiate a counterattack, you have to use that space. But I'm not a big fan of this. So what I mean is that now this player is doing a run. I initiated that run, and now you could say you could like turn like this and then go for a deep through pass, and all of a sudden you would have an easy counter-attack. But I don't like this because this is very one-dimensional, and if your opponent reads this, there's always a threat that you get in a very uncomfortable situation in which your opponent all of a sudden is in a position to get maybe the ball possession, and then you're in a high-risk situation to concede a goal. So I don't want to do this, especially if you have players on the top side which are really unmarked. You have a lot of players here and they are very secure and stable options to, once again, secure ball possession. So this is step number one. Make sure that you keep the ball in your feet basically. And that's why you can see that I already turned to the top side here to open myself up to these open man to play a pass, to then make really sure to get it away from the opponent, to make really sure that you can get control over the ball. So this is what I do here. Don't play some fancy through passes like this. In this case, I decided, after I turned, that I can play the ball to my lower CDM like this. And now I want to compare this situation to the first situation, because here I also have a central midfielder like the situation before, but it's different because now you have this central midfielder from the opponent and also this one. And in the situation before, I had an open man, so I was able to play with the midfielder right up front to my strikers, or to one of my strikers. This isn't the case here because, first of all, you have these midfield players from the opponent who can put pressure on me, who are in the way, so this is resistance. But also you have this player here in the midfield and he acts like a gatekeeper basically. He's in front of my two strikers, and if you compare this to the first situation, in this case it's not as easy to go forward for me. So this is what I mean, the situation is different. I'm facing a lot of more resistance, especially in the center. And what you always can do when you face resistance in the center, you can try to build up your play over the wings. So in this situation here, I lay off the ball to my central midfielder here. I initiate a 1-2 pass. Maybe sometimes, depending on how the opponent is moving, I can play a very easy 1-2 pass in the midfield and I can keep going in the center. But this is not the case here. So that's why you can see how my focus is shifting towards the wing. I will try to understand what's going on the wing. If there's an option to play on the wing, you can see my focus is shifting. And I was checking out that my striker is not really an option. And also something that I do, and I will go back just a few seconds to hopefully hit the timing right, because now I use R1 or RB to call my winger short so that he approaches me. He's open basically, but to make sure that this pass has a higher chance of success, I call him short to make him available, especially sometimes these players, because of instructions, are going to do some runs. But anyways, I call him short. I can now play a pass like this, but I'm not a big fan of this because there's always a threat, or in this situation there's a threat that the opponent is moving like that, or sometimes this AI player is going to move like that, and all of a sudden this passing lane is very narrow. So in the end I don't decide, or I decide to not play this pass. And something that I want to point out, I can work on an option like this, but you always want to have a backup plan. So if this is not working and I face some pressure, I can always lay off the ball to my fullback. You always want to have a backup plan in those kind of situations. But anyways, I decided to go for something else. I turn with my midfielder here to the lower side because now I see that there's a lot of space here for my fullback. And that's why I play in a through pass here to my fullback. So now I'm going over the wing to go forward to gain ground, because you want to gain ground in your build-up play. In this moment, I'm not focusing on my player here, but I focus on the radar, because I initiated the run from my winger in the beginning of the attack, and now I see that he's in an offside position. So what I'm going to do is I also call him short with the R1 RB button. I probably already did it, so that he's going to approach me like that, and now I can gain a lot of ground with an easy pass when he's going to approach me and if there's not an opponent right in front of me. So this is what I'm doing here. I check the radar, if he's offside, what he's doing, what's his position, and in this case I then see that he's in an offside position or about to get in an offside position. No real chance to play a through pass, so I call him short to make him available. So this is something that you can do, that you can work with using the R1 or B button to call someone short. As you can see now, he's approaching me. I look at the radar that this is the case. I can play this pass, and now I gain some ground, I gain some momentum, and in a few moments before, I wasn't able to play a pass to my striker. Now this changed. I got myself in a position to now play the ball to a striker, and then all of a sudden I'm in a very good position to keep this attack going forward. Even though I didn't try to totally go for a counter attack, all of a sudden with very smart play, how I used my wingers, how I used them to gain ground and also get in better passing angles, all of a sudden I'm in a situation to use both my strikers and also the winger to then go for this attack. I have some additional man now in the box. I go for player lock cross. Didn't work, but I think this attack was also very well played out, even though I didn't try to go for the immediate counter attack. At last, we want to take a look at another situation in which I was facing some resistance, but nevertheless it was a very easy and a very quick build-up play. So in this case, I'm going to win this ball here, and I don't want to engage anymore in this dribbling. So I lay off the ball to a teammate, or pass the ball to a teammate to just get it away from this duel here. But there's a player from the opponent close by, so I'm going to lay it off right away to the other center back, because then it's more secure. So I do this, I lay off the ball, and then I see that this player is close by. I don't want to engage anymore, or I want to get the ball away from here, because this one is much more safe and I can lay off the ball because of passing angles and stuff like that right away to this player. So in this moment, I always look at the pitch and try to see if I can keep my attack going forward, if I can move forward, if there's a spot where I don't face any resistance. And based off how I receive the ball, how my player is positioned from the passing angle, and then I have this open man right here, I can play the ball right away to a midfielder because he's unmarked and I can keep this attack going forward. And if they have the chance for, because there is no resistance in form of a player who's marking that player, I go for it. Because as long as I can go forward, I do it. And this is what I do here. Then I see the situation here, and this is very similar to the second situation that we're looking at. I have two midfielders, or we have two midfielders from the opponent which are marking these two central midfielders, but there's no one in this area here, as you can see from the radar, who is marking my two strikers in front of them. So there's no gatekeeper in this situation. So what I can do here, I can play a very easy pass to my midfielder and then maybe play the ball to my striker. And this is what I do. I lay off the ball. I see now, because of the passing angles, the striker is open. And as I said, as long as I have an opportunity to go forward, I do that right away. Play this very easy pass, play the next one to my striker. And as you can see, very easily, even though it was not as easy to get away or get out of my defense, I always had an open man. And if there's a chance to play this pass, all of a sudden I get myself very fast and very easily in a very dangerous situation on the wing. And this shows you how easy build-up play can be. We go back a little bit and look at the whole situation, whole attack. I get the ball possession, I play some quick passes, always identify the open man, and you can see how fast and deadly I can play along with my attack, can keep going forward and then get in a very dangerous situation right away. So this is it for this video, and as this video is a little bit different in comparison to the other ones on our channel, we would be happy to hear your feedback on it. Do you like this kind of analysis? Let us know in the comment section below, and you can also give us other ideas how we can further improve this kind of format. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and also don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications to not miss any of the upcoming videos that help you to improve in FIFA. This is it from my side. Thanks for watching. Keep a clean sheet. I'm out.